Welcome to a brand new season of the Happy Pawdcast. It's time to pause what you're doing and tune in. I'm your host Sonali Bendre and meet my cutest co-host, Icy Behel. Icy, say hi. Say hi. That's Icy for you. From understanding your pet's behavior to becoming a more mindful pet parent, we are here to help you decode what your furry friend has been trying to tell you all along. Let's get going. We have Remo D'Souza with us, who is an Indian choreographer, film director, and producer. Over the course of his career spanning more than 25 years, Remo has choreographed more than 100 films. He has contributed to the pet industry through his advocacy and personal involvement with pets. He's a pet parent to 8 dogs, 6 at the farm, and some 3 cats. Today he is here with Rico, who's so comfortable in his dad's... Oh, and that's Luca. He's around somewhere. And he's like, don't forget me. You're talking about Icy and Rico, but I'm here too. But Rico, as you can see, is taking a nap on his papa's lap. And along with him, we have the beautiful Diana Penty, who's an Indian actor and model. We've all watched her movies. But what we don't know is that she has made notable contributions to the Indian pet industry through her involvement in campaigns that promote pet adoption and responsible pet ownership. She also supports campaigns that raise awareness about the plight of stray animals and encourages people to provide them with loving homes. She has, I think, 3 dogs, many cats. I think she's also lost count of how many animals she has at home.
Quite true.
Let's start with you, Remo. You have so many pets. Were you always bringing home pets as a child also and saying that I want this pet? Did you have many pets as a child? Where did this love come from?
I think from childhood. I don't remember any space in my life where I was not with the
With an
pets.
animal?
Yeah.
So is your mama animal lover?
My dad.
Dad is the animal.
Dad is animal.
So you've always had cats and dogs at home.
And rightly said that I used to get anything from after coming back from school. I used to see any.
What is the most strangest animal that you've got home?
This is a very interesting thing. So I was coming back from school and I saw little puppies. So there was nalas when I was. So I saw little puppies there. So I went down, crawled inside the nala, I pulled one and I got him home. And gave him bath and everything. And my dad came and he looked at the little puppy and says, "Ye kya likha hai?"
Huh.
I said, "Mujhe chahiye, I want to keep him in the house." He said, "You can't keep this in the house. This is not dog." I said, "So, ye lomdi hai."
It's a fox.
It's a fox. He says, "Where do you get it from?" So I said, "I got it from there." And he said, "You have to go back and put it back again."
Yeah.
I said, "No, I'm not going to put it
How
back."
old were you at this time?
I was very young. I think I was in
8, 10?
8, 10.
Yeah?
Yeah, around that. So I started crying. The whole night I cried. I said, I will not leave him this thing. So eventually I kept him in the house
Okay.
till he was big enough to walk this thing. And then,
But so the fox had got stuck over there, was separated from the mother.
yeah, I think then when my dad went back to put it back there, so there was nothing.
Yeah.
So nobody. So then
Then he couldn't
even,
leave
yeah,
him alone
so
over there.
Dad also said, "Chalo, abhi
Yeah.
keep it."
Wow.
So yeah, that was the strangest.
So he has always been correcting all the
Yeah.
strays. Yeah. What about you, Diana? Have you done the same? Have you always collected strays?
No, not from a young age. I think this happened more recently during the lockdown is when, for me, I was more exposed to indies. And when I was young, I had a Lasha Apso. He was not, technically he was not my dog. He belonged to somebody in the family, but I like to say that he adopted me because he just chose that he wanted to come and live with me, and then
he
became,
followed you
Yeah,
everywhere.
he became my dog after that.
Okay.
And he was part of my life, part of the best times and the worst times of my life. When you're growing up, you go through ups and downs, and to have that one constant companion really shaped who I became,
Yeah.
I feel. And I think
Yeah.
it's really important for kids to grow
To
up
have-
with animals, actually. After that, after I lost him, I was heartbroken and I wasn't able to
Were you
even
one of those who
consider.
said, I've lost a pet, I'm not going to get
Never,
another?
yes, always.
Yeah.
I decided I'm never going to get another dog, and I was not able to do it for years. I think a whole decade and a half went by after that. And then just before the lockdown, Victoria entered our lives. She's
Tell
a
us
rescue.
more about Victoria.
She was part of a litter of puppies that they were on our doorstep literally, and they were all unwell at 2 months old. So Harsh and I both decided we have to, do something. So we
Just to this thing, Harsh is Diana's partner and
Yes.
who is a huge animal lover.
Huge. I mean, I feel like I've learned from him, and I've become
Yeah,
like
I think
that
he leads
after-
this movement in their life, I
It's
feel.
true. It's true. I'm the assistant. But she survived. The rest didn't make it, unfortunately. But after that,
she's a survivor.
She's a survivor. She's a survivor, and they went through a lot, but she came out strong, and she's been with us ever since. And then after that, I feel like we've just attracted them, and somehow they just find their way to us. Cats, dogs. We have so many cats now. And it's a very fulfilling and satisfying experience to be able to rehabilitate and kind of rescue and look after, and a lot of them come in with medical conditions that.
So what do you do
takes
when they come in with medical conditions?
So of course we have a handful of very senior vets that we consult and take them to. Whatever is told to us to do, we do. We follow whatever protocols
So
we
do
have.
you wait for a certain amount of time till they get well before you start looking
Before
for a forever
I mean,
home?
the ideal situation would be to find good homes for them after that. But like we were discussing, it's very difficult to find good homes. And when I say that, I mean people who are willing to put in equal amounts of time and effort.
Yeah.
Emotional, physical, all of it, because it takes that.
It takes a lot,
It takes a
yes.
lot. It's not easy.
It's not
And you
easy.
can't expect that everyone's inclined that way.
That's true.
So a lot of people, because of their busy lives, and they have 9-to-5 jobs, and they have other things to focus on, families. So they're able to give only a certain amount, but they're not able to give their 100%,
Yeah.
which is fair enough.
Absolutely.
But a lot of these rescues do need 100%, and so we've had it's a bit of a struggle finding the right home where that they'll be looked after in exactly the same way that we looked after them, especially the ones that have
So
underlying
how do you look
conditions
for
and-
the homes then?
So as of now, we were discussing that as well.
You're sending
where
some to
rescue
Remo,
fails.
and Remo was like, I'll keep them all.
No. We are rescue. What do they call them? Rescue fails, right? No,
Rescue.
failed rescue.
Oh, yeah. No, they're called foster fails or
fails.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
foster
Foster
fails. I was trying to get that word because they've all ended up staying with us.
Yeah.
So far,
So all of them have ended up with you.
all of
so
them have
far.
ended up. Some of them are outside, some are inside. Some come and go, as they please. Some they, let them out in the day, and then at night they come back for their food and just to sleep.
But that's
Safe
beautiful
space.
also, Diana, because in Mumbai you have a home which has a yard,
Yes. I mean,
which
we have
is
the luxury of space, which is why we're
Yeah.
able to do this. I can completely understand how it would be difficult to do the same kind of work in a smaller,
apart-
more confined,
Yeah.
or in an apartment
I
complex.
agree. I
because-
cannot understand it, and yet Remo seems to do it all the time
Yeah.
in an apartment
Yeah.
in Mumbai, and
So I have to tell you this, that apartments, for many years I've been trying to do this, but now because the space is very important, so I shifted to a place where I don't need to see the apartments of lifts and everything. So it's a private house. So now I'm happy with. I
So
mean, I'm happy that all the babies are
have
very happy.
space.
They have space. Yeah.
So I like it. If Lizelle would have told you that, you know what, I don't want to live in an apartment, you wouldn't have bothered
No.
beyond a point. It's for them.
It's for them. Yeah.
See?
It's for them.
I'm sure. Lizelle, are you listening to this?
Yes.
Yeah. But actually, somewhere, Remo, we have to say that, I've worked with you and I have seen it, that even on the dance shows, it's not the right thing to say, but he adopts them.
Yeah.
And once he adopts them, he's so committed to them that, it could be years and years, and they grow up and you come, and once he has adopted somebody, so it's not just about the animals. I think he does that with humans also. Once you adopt someone, you just adopt them. I've seen him do that.
Yes.
And have you adopted me also as your friend or not?
That too, even when we met that time only. Did that.
But so like you said that you were talking about how sometimes it takes a lot, and it's a lot of effort and it's a lot of responsibility. It is parenting in a certain way.
Of course it is.
So what I want to ask you, Remo, is that you were parenting these dogs and then you had two boys.
Yes.
How did it affect your parenting? Did it change you in any way? What was it like?
No, it didn't change me. There was no change as
You can't
such.
even think that it was any different.
Yeah, it was like
They were
because
all
see,
siblings. Some
yeah,
dogs, some humans, some
exactly.
cats. They were all siblings.
And if you see now in my house, it's like as I told you before, also that two of them are like fixed to my younger one, and my cats are to my elder one.
Oh.
So they are like they
So
know
they've
that
divided
they
themselves amongst all the family
yeah, all
members.
the family members are divided. So
Who is
two of
yours?
them.
I can see Rico.
you can see Rico,
Yeah.
and everyone basically.
And
I'm
everyone
their
is
favorite.
Lizelle's basically because she's the mother, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's the mother. So Lizelle's, I think the cats are close
All-
to Lizelle.
They must be bullying the dogs, the cats.
Yeah,
Because they are.
They're like they're all three
You
of them.
have cats.
Yeah. So
And
you
I
know.
mean, they all mostly they get along, but it's very interesting to see the dynamics because cats and dogs are so they're poles apart.
Yeah. So, Diana, we on this season, last season also, but this season also, we've had cat experts, and this season we've had many cats coming in.
Oh, really?
And so it was very interesting for me to see IC and the cats because IC has not really interacted with cats ever before. And I was very worried what is going to happen. And I thought that they are so different. And he had a very interesting thing to say. He said, this cartoons like Tom and Jerry and all have just created this myth that they don't get along and, cats and dogs and mice. And he's like, there's nothing like that. I have cats and I have dogs and they all get along. And I could see, but yes, they are very different because though they were so tiny, they were
command
definitely the
respect.
divas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They command. She just backed away from them, It was amazing to see that. So, yeah. So, do you have any, how do you manage with
So
all the cats and the...
We also kind of obviously under supervision, but leave them to figure it out between themselves. I think that's
So, when a new dog comes in or a new cat comes in, how do you kind of acclimatize them?
slowly and with a lot of patience. So before just letting both into a new room, into a room together for the first time, we kind of do it through a glass door, for example. Okay, so one will be on one side of the other, so that they can at least take a look at each other.
Yeah.
Then with a little chink between, the door a little open so that they can sniff each
Smell
other and
each
smell
other,
each other
yeah.
and get used to it. It takes some time, it's over a period of a few days.
I think because what you're saying is so important for, pet parents who have a pet and are bringing in a new one. Or
Exactly.
even for people who are going to have babies. I mean, this is a beautiful way to kind of...
And it's best to let them establish the dynamics between the two of them or the many of them on their own, as opposed to you interfering too much.
What do you
I
mean
feel.
by that?
So, if you eventually, once they're familiar with each other and then you put them in a room together, of course, again, under supervision, it's important to let them have their own interaction without you interfering and let them figure for themselves who the alpha is and who's not, or, who is the more dominating in the situation. Like mostly, like you said, the cats.
Who is the alpha? It's the cat.
Mostly
the
the cats.
Even in your house, it's the cats.
Absolutely.
And the
Who rules
dogs
the
end up
roost?
listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happens is like when they were small, like Rico, for example, Rico and say Simba.
Huh.
Simba is a cat and
Huh.
Rico.
See, look at him.
So,
His
yeah, I'm
ears have perked up.
Talking about ears.
He's like, okay, where's
Yeah.
Simba?
So when they are small, so I keep them together, and you see, cats are like very, very smart. I don't know how, but their bonds smart. So when they are together, when the dogs come closer, she just
Swipes.
they have
Yeah,
swipes.
they do that
Haan,
little
ek-
thing that
a
they
like
like.
one tappu
Yeah,
she
yeah,
gives,
yeah.
and the dog runs away or maybe cries or something.
Yeah.
The dogs
But
learn.
slowly, when they grow up, the dog starts because they have more power. In this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So, in that time, what Diana was saying that time I don't interfere. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't say. Let them be.
Okay.
And
be
then
how-
they themselves establish a
themselves-
hierarchy
Yeah.
amongst them.
Correct.
Who needs to be listened to and who you can get your way around
So
and
it's
who
best
bullies
to
who.
not interfere too much.
It's best, yeah. But under supervision, I would not leave
not
them
like-
alone and leave the house, for example.
Right.
Until
yeah.
I know that they're good with each other and they'll not harm each other. But initially it takes that.
But I'm still like, because I'm such a dog person, so cats are very alien to me. I don't understand anything about them. And they're so different. They do wag their tail, but that means all sorts of different things. And this wag means all sorts of different things. So
it's only when
it's
they
very
want to
confusing.
come and this thing, they'll come to you. Otherwise, if you call them,
Exactly. Good luck trying to hug a cat.
it's like
when it doesn't want to be hugged.
You know, on the show, I had cats who have come and given me hug and you know, cuddled up with me and all of that. And I said, ooh, they
I
want
want
to
to see this cat.
Even I want to see who's this cat.
I want to see this cat.
It was a black cat called Bagheera.
Oh, I have a black cat called Bagheera,
Yeah?
and his brother is Sher Khan. He looks like Sher Khan.
He was like literally, and then there was Snowy, who was also happy to cuddle, but Bagheera would come to me and want me to play, and I was like, wow. And they were like, maybe you're going to be a cat parent. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
India version.
Indie?
No.
That's why. The Indies generally are touch-me-nots.
Yes.
And they'll come only when they want to come to you. They'll mostly don't like being carried or held down in any way.
So most of your rescues are indies?
Yes.
Do you find abandoned cats which are not indies also?
Hardly.
Or they usually, cats don't get abandoned as much as dogs do?
I wouldn't have the answer to that question. I'm not sure. But I feel that from my experience, I've seen more indies than not.
Okay.
So maybe, you know, the other ones don't get abandoned as much. I'm not, but I can't be sure about it.
You know, Diana, you're very passionate about pet nutrition. There's a lot that you've been talking about and, you know, you've been discussing. Can you tell us something more about it?
So nutrition, in my opinion, plays such an important role in the recovery of, you know, no matter what the condition is, as long as they're eating right and getting their meals on time, their bodies will fight. And a lot of the indies, you know, the rescues they're hardy like that.
Okay.
You know, they have that will to live, and then once they know that there's somebody here that's rooting for me and taking care of me, they will pull through. But the important part is to make sure that they eat. And the thing is, when cats get unwell, or even dogs for that matter, but mostly cats, they tend to get fussy with their food. But we discovered, you know, that recovery food, there's different brands that do it, but we discovered that there's a brand that makes this recovery food in the form of, it's a liquid in
you add that
bottles. Yes. So we syringe feed them with that, and it's just magic because it's got all the right nutrients, proteins, whatever.
Syringe feed them, like literally?
Yeah, because it's liquid.
Even for grown-up dogs or just for puppies?
Mostly cats. They do have a version for
cats.
dogs as well, but we mostly use it for the cats. And there's different. So you get them for renal, for you know, there's a heart tonic. There's just an immuno for
thing,
overall
or joint
immunity,
thing,
joints,
or for the GI tract and all of that.
So you get different types, and so if you know use the right formula for the correct condition, we've really seen wonders.
Hey, did you know that cats have about more than 100 vocal sounds, while dogs have only about 10? The thing is that, Remo, I've had experts coming on the show. What I find interesting is that experts have studied it, they work on it and all of that. But when I have pet parents who come in, you know, they have more practical advice. And a lot of times for a pet parent like me and a lot of our listeners, something that I'm sure cat parents would love to know about it, and next time their cat is not well, they would, you know, Google it, look for it, and look for the recovery food.
The recovery food.
Yeah. And, you know, there must be various brands, but this is such an amazing tip to have. And also, a lot of people who come run organizations or shelters, and they have places where they shelter animals and stuff like that. What both of you do is open your homes. That's not easy to do.
It's not.
It's very difficult to do that. I know it, because there are so many. I mean, there are other members of family. There can be various reasons why everybody can't really do it. So what is it like? What is it that makes you open your homes to them? You could easily, Remo, you could easily send them to a shelter.
Yeah,
you know, enough people who run a shelter, so could you.
Yeah.
But what is it that makes you do it yourself?
See, I think we're all aware of the fact that most shelters are overwhelmed. You know, they've unfortunately in a situation where they've had to take on more than they can chew, even in terms of space, in terms of manpower. And while that would be the most convenient thing to do sometimes, and it's like you said, opening your home is not. When I say it's not easy, I don't mean the literal aspect of just opening up your home to animals, but I mean that it takes
it's a commitment.
lot. It's a commitment. It's a almost like a full-time job sometimes, especially if an animal is unwell, because then they have to be monitored 24/7.
It's crazy, and because they can't speak, you don't know what's happening.
Exactly, and it's emotionally, physically, and mentally. It can get a lot. It can get overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I think it's more that than actually opening your home to them. But and also the fact that sometimes a lot of us struggle with, I mean, I don't know about you, but a lot of us I struggle with staff. Because not everybody is inclined towards
working with animals.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not so
and
easy
you don't
to
know,
find.
they can pretend to and then they are not.
Exactly.
So I'm sure Lizelle handles that part of it. Or do you how do you check to see if the new member of staff is as much of an animal lover as you are?
Exactly. Like, I'm very particular about that. I'm scared.
Good, and thank God that till now I've got all the good staff that they love animals.
Can you send some to me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
because they will be vetted and they know that if they've come from Remo, they're animal lovers.
Exactly.
So they love it. I mean, and
so with opening his heart out, and it's like a shelter the home, he's also starting another thing where he says well-trained, good animal-loving help.
Exactly.
But I think we are lucky and blessed that we got these staffs who are very good with pets and everything. And because so many years been with the
but like
pets.
Remo, it's not like always that you had staff. So there is, of course, it's today that you have the help and all of that. But like a lot of other pet parents that will be listening to it, there have been a lot of years where you've not, and you've done everything yourself.
Yes.
And what was that incident that you can remember where you're at a shoot, and shootings can be so mad. Also because in our line of work, there's no fixed timing.
That's the problem.
Literally, when you leave home, you don't know when you're coming back, because you don't know what kind of emergency can be there on the set, and it can get drawn into something. So in that kind of a job, has there been an incident that you're at a shoot and there's been an emergency, and what have you done about it? Both of you, if you have stories of that.
The one incident which I remember now when you're saying kid. So I used to live in Mira Road. So Mira Road I used to live, and I used to live in 4th floor. I had a Doberman called Bambi.
Okay.
I named him Bambi. So we were down talking, and he came on the window. He looked at me, and I looked at him. I said, Bambi. So he went back and he jumped.
Oh my God.
No.
From 4th floor. And he jumped, and I couldn't catch him in this thing. So he broke his 2 legs. So that was the worst time I had. And I used to take him, and there was nobody to help in this thing. I used to ride my bike. I used to keep him on my lap.
On the
I used
bike.
I used to tie
Strap him up.
and I used to take him from Mira Road to Thane, because in Mira Road there was no vet. So I used to take him to the Thane. There was a vet there. I used to treat him. And during that time, I remember I left 2 of my shoots, which I said I can't, because I don't know how to keep him there and keep him with somebody. So that was...
Remo, we love you even more now. So cute.
So
people, when their pets fall ill, they abandon them. You've abandoned your work, but not abandoned the pet. That's like the sweetest story ever. So sweet. I love stories like this. Sorry, But because I've sat here and heard so many stories which are scary, sad, and shocking. So so guys, we have a feel-good episode this time. I know. Sorry. Too emotional. Dogs do that to
Definitely
you.
can't beat that story. But I mean, I remember when Victoria was unwell a couple of times, I have managed to wiggle my way out of shoots by pushing the day here or there, but very politely. And of course, unfortunately, you can't always be honest as to why. because people don't
if you would
understand
tell,
it.
If you would tell somebody that
My
my
dog is
child is
sick,
unwell,
they'll-
they will
they-
get it.
They will get it.
Exactly.
But if you tell them that your
Your
dog is unwell, they're like,
so.
"What?" And they're like, the child still can speak and tell, but the dog can't. And
Dogs, cats, animals are children for life.
Absolutely.
Your child eventually grows up and it
Yeah.
becomes
Yeah,
independent
they'll-
and
But
can
they are
run.
your-
But they are your babies
They are-
forever.
yeah, that's true.
So I've had to do it a few times as well, but quietly.
Now we know some.
Yeah.
Let's see, what were the cancellations? Okay, now you know
It
what
was so long
happened.
ago, I don't think anyone remember. Those films have released and long gone.
Yeah. But
But,
yeah, what a lovely story that was. Yeah.
But this is in terms of medical conditions. But even on a regular basis, we have recently discovered these smart devices for pets. Okay, there are companies that make smart devices.
What
And a
smart
lot-
devices?
Yeah,
Feed-
even I
We want to know this.
Let me tell you, it has changed our lives. So a lot of people, everybody, all of us are working. We have,
Yeah.
long hours. But if you have animals at home and you don't have staff,
Yeah.
then you need to make sure you're getting home at a particular time every day to feed them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or, clean the poop tray or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they have these automated feeding devices
Oh.
and automated
water devices.
water fountains and these poop thingies.
The cleaning, so the litter
So
box
the litter
cleaning.
boxes get cleaned at a fixed time every day. You can
This I want.
yeah, you can program it to clean it once a day, twice, however many times you want at a fixed time every day, or you can do it manually from an app whenever you want to. The feeding devices also, it just dispenses the food at a fixed
At a
time
certain
every
time.
day. The quantity you want,
You can fix
you
that
can fix
also.
it in advance, or you can do it manually from the app. So wherever you are
Yeah.
in the world,
You have
in the
the
country,
cameras, you watch
they
it and you can-
exactly. It has changed our
That's
lives
amazing.
because they're suddenly they're self-sufficient and they don't need
that's
us to be
amazing.
home. So just on a regular basis, that's very helpful.
You get it
So-
here? Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you tell me which one you're using?
Pet kit.
Pet kit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called Pet kit, and
We
they
need
have
to
a
figure this out.
host
Yeah.
of devices.
Yeah?
So we have their feeding devices. We have it's for dry food as of now.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're creating one for wet food as well.
Oh, amazing.
But for now, they have them for the dry food, and we have the water fountains.
Mhm.
So they're big capacity. So you can put 3 liters in there.
So it's like a whole day gets taken care of, or do you think you can do 2-3 days?
You can do multiple days
Because
the water
dogs
lasts.
need the walking, but
Yeah.
But
cat
cats,
parents can, yeah.
And as long as if they're a single dog or cat, they'll get
Bored.
they need company and
Yeah.
they'll get bored. But if they have each other,
Yeah.
good.
cats are very low maintenance. They don't. really need-
Even your dogs, if you have you come back to a completely ruined home ever?
No, luckily not
No?
yet. No.
They've been very loving.
Yeah,
Have you?
My dogs are very
no,
good.
there was a time when I had a pet and Lizzle was not there and no help was there. I used to come back home and I see everything is gone.
Wow.
That's their way of
Yeah.
telling that we want attention.
We want attention.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
find the edge of the couch bitten, but that was more puppyhood, teething.
and- yeah.
now I
But-
remember that when Lizzle was not there, I was struggling and I was staying alone.
I love the way he says when Lizelle was not there and I was
So
struggling.
now she takes care of everything. So,
We know that. She's a
Really,
superwoman.
during that time, I don't know how. Now I have Cooper, like the breeds like Maltese and American Cocker Spaniel, Poodle.
Yeah.
But when I was alone, living alone, I always had big dogs like Doberman, Boxer, and
High energy dogs.
yeah, always. Now I remember.
So obviously
cute.
they were high energy dogs and they were probably bored and
Yeah.
needed stimulation.
Labs.
Exactly.
When you're talking about companionship and about how they have each other when you're on long hours. So let's get into the love lives of your pets.
Of our pets?
Yeah. What are the love lives? Have your pets had love lives? What has happened when you've had so many pets? Have there been puppies?
Oh, puppies, my God. Last year we had all 3 of my dogs have given litters. So 4, 4, 4, 12. And at the same time. I'm not joking.
So you
It's
had 12
at the same
puppies
time. One day, one poodle has given 4 litters, then Maltese has 4 litters, and then Gundi, which is again the mix of
Poodle and
poodle and
Maltese, Cocker Spaniel.
So all 3 of them littered.
So basically
And
you
that's
had 8 dogs and 12 puppies.
12 puppies. Now it's like not even two months back.
That's crazy.
2 months
Yeah,
back.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
But thankfully they're smaller dogs. But still, puppies, the food is different. The lactating mothers need food. The puppies need to be cared for, and they all need to be kept separately.
And the best part is all of them, they stay in my room. In my room. In my floor.
In your room?
In my floor, yes. In my room. Where I sleep and everyone is there. Like
The
how
crates are
there's
there.
yeah, the crates are there.
So how that means, if the crates are in your room, what do you do? Like, obviously you want to find homes for those puppies.
Yes.
Have you managed
What do you do?
to?
You
I
do
managed
you go
to.
and
You
stalk
did?
them?
I did.
Nice.
I
Do
did.
you go and stalk the people who are taking the puppies?
The best thing is what I do is कि मैं उनके reels बनाता हूँ.
Yeah.
मैं reels डाल देता हूँ.
Yeah.
And as soon as people see the reels, oh, so nice, so this thing, I say, and when they reply and they say, do you want one?
Yeah.
And good part is that they only say, ki, even I want one, I want one.
Correct.
So that way I get people.
So how do you vet the homes? कि कैसे पता है आपको कि हाँ यहाँ पे they will be looked after?
Because I only give to them who are like
Who
friends,
you know.
who I know. I don't give it to any unknown this thing.
You need to have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Because
like
Remo
animals.
has, look at the amount of litter.
You know, I have a lot of
Yeah,
friends. So
he does actually. That's true. He has a
Yeah.
lot of friends. That's why he has friends. Now we know it. Yeah. What about you? Has that happened to you? Or most of the time because they're rescues, they've been neutered or...
No, we have to get them neutered most of the times because they're rescues. They're mostly on the street, right? So
Right,
they're not
yeah.
always done. We have our dogs are all three of our dogs are female, so we don't have a problem there. But the cats, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep up with
Oh,
them. They
yeah.
multiply like before you can
Yeah,
even
yeah,
say whoa, and like there's a litter.
Yeah?
Yeah, so because cats go on heat very
Cats,
often, like every 2 or 3 weeks. So you have to.
Weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Every 2 or 3 weeks?
They can. There's some cats are more prone to I don't know what the condition is called. It's not a condition really. I think it's just
Yeah,
natural.
they're just...
But
yeah.
they tend to go on to heat very often.
Okay. So then what have you done with the kittens? Found homes for them or have they continued to come
We've
in and out of
actually-
your house?
Yeah, we've actually helped 1 or 2 of our cats give birth. Like we were there while the process was on, and like Harsh was pulling it out, and like we were on the phone with the vet saying, now what do we do? This is what's happening. And he was like, okay, take a nylon thread and cut the umbilical cord. And my hands were shaking because I said, I've never done this before. And Harsh was like, I've never done this before either. So I was like the assistant that was running in to get the whatever he was asking me to get, and he was on the phone with the vet, and it was like, it was crazy. But it was really sweet because at the end of it all, I mean, everything went smooth and all of that. And then
Congratulations.
yeah, this was some years ago.
Yeah,
Those
but
are all
still.
good. And at the end of it, I think maybe about 5 or 6 hours later, after she had settled and kittens had settled, she picked them up and came and brought them to our feet and just dropped them at our feet. It was kind of like a thank you, and it was very sweet.
See, another sweet
Yeah.
story. Just look at that.
Just
Oh
showed the
my
trust and
God.
the
Yeah.
and the love. They're so amazing, animals. You learn so much from them without uttering even a single word.
Yeah.
They express so much.
She said, these are your children, is what she's saying. I mean, my God, for a mother to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
What
And for a
beautiful
cat
thank you.
to surrender her own newborn babies to you, like, because they don't trust easily at all, cats in particular. They would in fact come to attack you if you go close to their. They keep
Place,
changing
yeah,
their
they keep changing
location
their
to make
location.
sure that they're safe,
Yeah.
away from humans, away from other animals. So for her to do that was just, I mean, our hair was standing. Just like,
I
wow,
mean,
that's so
yeah,
sweet.
what a story that is.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine, Diana, you've done this. You've
Done this
Harsha
twice
actually-
over.
Wow, you're
And then we were like,
experts.
we need to get them
Nice.
spayed now
Yeah.
because this is
You
too much.
are an expert at this, that means.
Yeah, but the importance, I mean, just, for other people listening, the importance of neutering and spaying is all the way up there. It's just important for the health of the animals as well, in the long run.
There's so many myths about neutering and spaying that,
Look, I would say,
they become obese, the hormones, there's so many.
but what's the alternative? That there's going to be an explosion of like cat population, which there already is.
or even dog
And then
population and who will not be looked
Will
after.
not be
and
looked
will have
after. They're on the
miserable lives.
streets. They're being run over
Yeah.
every day. There's that many number of
Yeah.
cats and dogs that are being run over, killed,
Yeah.
starving, not being looked.
Yeah.
That's no way to live either. So if you
Yeah.
can prevent that, through a very safe way, I think it's important to do. I wouldn't say, of course, from a convenience point of view, a lot of people say get them spayed at 3 and 4 and 5 months. I feel like that's too early because they're still in their
So
growing
for cats,
phase.
what would you say around what
I
age?
think they reach their. I'm no expert in this matter,
of
so
course.
don't quote me on it. But I think they reach their full, size and weight, and also
And
all
the
their
growth
growth
that needs to happen inside.
around, I think, a year.
Okay.
I think at least I think the males. The females, because they go on to heat so often, sometimes you have to take that chance and kind of get them spayed earlier on, because they come into maturity at like 5 months, 4-5 months. They can mate as early as that. Sometimes they are tinier than, I mean, I keep looking when it happened to us, I was like, she's a child herself and she's gonna bear children. I just felt like we're so wrong. But it's nature. So,
Yeah. I love it the way Diana says, she's a child. But yeah. So what would you say to people who are listening about individual adoptions? Like we are talking about individuals who can open their homes and take in. What is it that you would like to say to them?
That, you could change a life. And that life can bring you so much joy and love. You don't even realize it yet. If you've not done it before, you wouldn't know. But if you've done it, you realize how your life can change with an animal in it.
Yeah.
They teach you so much, this empathy, kindness, loyalty.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, I feel like animals make you stop and pause, and where there's so much chaos in the world right now that, there's so much of all this social media and it's just distractions all around.
They take
But
you
it
away
just
from
takes
that
you,
social
they take you
media.
away from that, and they make you live in the moment, enjoy the moment, and enjoy and appreciate the smaller things in life, which are just the simpler things in life, which is spending time with your animal, for example.
I agree. It's the best time.
Very rightly said that कि जब आप अडॉप्ट करते हो या करते हो तो आपकी लाइफ चेंज हो जाती है. फॉर एग्जांपल आमिर अली, माय फ्रेंड who's an actor, his mother was totally against keeping a dog in the house. She said या तो वो रहेगा या मैं रहूँ.
Yeah, mothers love saying this, no?
So this was this thing. So I went and I spoke. He said कि please मम्मी से बात कर ले एक बार क्योंकि मम्मी मान नहीं रही है. So I went and I spoke to auntie. एक बार देख लो आप, बहुत अच्छा है, छोटा सा है, देखो आप. And he wanted desperately. So I said ठीक है. So I went with the puppy and said okay ठीक है, ये उसके रूम में रहेगा, यहाँ नहीं रहेगा, यहाँ मैं प्रे करती हूँ, ये होता है वो होता है and all that stuff. She बिल्कुल नहीं आएगा. I said ठीक है. I told Amir just keep it for some time. Give it time. And after a month,
the puppies with
the
mother.
Make their way into your heart somehow or the other.
And now she feeds with her hand. And Amir says कि अब मैं बेटा नहीं हूँ उनका. Now जोई उसका बेटा है and वो उनको पूरा काम करती है. So that's how they change lives. They changed your environment. They change everything about.
That's true.
And they're just the most grounding force.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what's going on in your life around you, work, personal, the world, you just come back home and sit on that couch with, your favorite whoever.
Yeah.
And they just change the vibe and the energy.
So Diana said that, she's the assistant to Harsh and, that's how. So you were always the animal lover and all of that. And so what was it? Did Lizelle adapt to it, or was she equally a animal lover, or what was that dynamic like? And how, or did you just convince her that this is what it should be? What was it like?
No, she has dog. She had a dog before also, and she was an animal
but
lover.
Remo, having one dog and having 8 is a different ball game altogether.
But now what happens is every time when any of my puppy litters or something like that, and we have this beautiful little ones and this thing, and say कि now we have to. I tell them that कि इनको निकाल दो अभी. We have 8 dogs and we have 6 there.
उनको घर भेजो.
घर भेजो क्योंकि उनको भी अच्छा घर मिलेगा. अब हम 8 हैं तो 8 को तो equal प्यार नहीं होता है. कभी-कभी like for example अभी रिको यहाँ पे है, 7 वहाँ पे है. तो
who is your favorite?
All of them. In all of them.
Yeah.
Cooper.
We want
Cooper is
Cooper's
my
picture.
yeah.
That's
So
Luca calling
that's-
out.
hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she always used to this thing, but yeah. Now I say कि दे दो, but now she is saying नहीं इसको रख लेते हैं, ये वाला इसको रख लेते हैं हमारे पास.
Yeah.
And what happens is जब later करते हैं तो out of 12 puppies,
Maybe
एक
keep
दो
one.
defect, yeah, no, उनको कुछ problem हो जाती है. Like one is born with one eye.
Ah.
So I said अभी वो उसको कोई adopt करेगा नहीं this thing.
So you keep.
So I keep them. One is born with a little defect in his leg. So I said I'll keep them. So all these things I keep them. That's why it's
become 8.
become 8.
But so that is also the thing that, if you want to adopt, having partners who understand that
Yeah,
is
that's
so
very
important, because then otherwise, it's like Amir's mother.
Exactly.
It will take some time, but eventually they will, because where Icy is concerned also, she has Goldie wrapped around her paw.
They end up
literally.
running the house. In the
She-
end, they end up running the house. All the animals.
Totally.
Everyone's schedule is basis the
Yeah,
dogs and the
basis the
cats and
dogs,
what they're
yeah.
up to, and will
Yeah.
they be okay, and do they need to be fed?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day,
Yeah.
everything revolves around them.
So, with so many animals, when you adopt or you have them at home, are there a lot of adjustments that you have to make?
No, बिल्कुल very rightly said कि if you can 100% sure about yourself कि हाँ मैं इसको संभाल सकता हूँ, then only you adopt. Otherwise, just for the style and just for some, it happens.
कभी-कभी सिर्फ
It
style
happens.
भी नहीं है, कभी-कभी ऐसे लगता है कि यार I'm feeling, but then you realize
No,
that
then
I'm
you
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed.
So basically, we can say that when you're ready to say that, okay, next 15 years I will be responsible. If you
Exactly.
can do that, then take it.
Then
off.
take it.
It's exactly like, I only just thought about it, but it's exactly like having a child, right? So if somebody is planning to have a child, because your day will change accordingly. If you're working, it would be great if you live with a lot of people in the family,
Support,
for example.
yeah.
So then you're not having to leave the pup or the kitten
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
at
There's
home
somebody
alone.
to
There's
look
somebody
after
there at
somebody,
all
yeah.
points. Or you have a great setup in terms of house help and
Yeah.
Staff who are willing to be there.
But like, a
24/7.
lot of times we do have other family members and,
Yeah. So it's the same thing with children, right? If you have a child, but you know that your
There are
mom's
people.
around, or
Yeah.
your mother-in-law's
Dadi's there,
around, or
Nani's
somebody's there.
somebody's there. Yeah.
It's much easier for you to leave and go to work and not have to have that stress of, oh, my child's alone at home.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if you have very trusted house help.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Even if you're going on a trip, or you have to go on a trip,
Yeah.
or you have to go on work, or you want to plan a holiday, you have to keep in mind that there's a living being that's waiting for you to come back,
Yeah.
or is not too kicked about being alone for so long,
Absolutely, yeah.
without you there.
Yeah.
So these are adjustments to sort of, at least thoughts that you need to
They
consider.
are there. There are adjustments.
Yeah.
The thing is that as animal lovers, we would say that what you get from them is so much more than the adjustments
exactly.
or the compromises or the adjustments that you have to make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That at any given time, that is something that you
Even the way you would child-proof your house, for example.
So have you
It's a-
pet-proofed your house?
Pet-proof to a certain extent. You have to keep in mind the fact that they can pick up anything and probably
Put
try
it in
to
the
chew it or swallow
mouth. They
it.
can climb anywhere. The
Climb-
cats.
Exactly, the
So,
cats. and-
things that are breakable. It's just, there's a lot that you
Lot
have to
of
think
thinking,
about.
yes.
If there's any rough corners or pointy
Yeah.
edges or
They
something
could
that they could
hurt
hurt
themselves.
themselves, it's exactly like having a child, come to think of
Yeah,
it.
when I was
Yeah.
living
I mean,
in
not that
Audi
I would know anything about that, but I know about having
but
dogs.
even when
No,
I
that's
used-
what it is.
yeah, yeah, like high rises building. When I used to live in an apartment
Yeah.
and there was a 30th floor, which usually, so all the railings has a gap. So I used to fill that gap.
Correct.
They just cover the gap because when they were little
Small,
ones,
and cats
small, the
also,
cats, so they can. So one day my cat, this was very interesting. So one day I
don't
woke
tell
up.
another story. You
This
forgot-
is,
no,
but
no, no.
we got saved.
Huh. Tell us,
My
please.
heart can't take it.
So I came out and I have a habit of every morning feed them and all the stuff. So
Yeah.
I was feeding them and suddenly there was a cat. She was crying, but I was searching kahan hai, and suddenly there was a window open. So when I see on the railing, the cats are so smart. On the railing, she was on the wall. The thing she knew that कि अगर मैं थोड़ा और जाऊंगी तो नीचे गिरूंगा. This is 30th floor I'm talking. And she's like standing and she's looking at the window and she can't come up because the window was too high. And I said, oh shit, even I can't take it because it's a high raise, so the window doesn't open fully. It just opens half. So I was trying to put a cloth, a towel, so that she climbs. Nothing is happening. So I said, this is not going to happen. So I went back on the balcony, tied my house help rope, and I said, you have to go down. So he went down and took it.
Wow.
So got saved. Otherwise, if a dog would
dog
have gone
would-
there,
yeah, no.
it would have gone.
Cats at least have
Cats
that
at least
ability
have
to
this
climb
ability
and-
of this
yeah.
thing of
So since then you started pet proofing your house.
everything.
This just reminded me of another story. I don't know. Not long ago. I think this was about a year and a half ago. One of our cats that lives outside. We have a compound with a lot of trees, old trees, and there's this one really tall jamun tree, which is taller than the building. So it would be about 50 feet high.
Wow, okay.
Couldn't find this one guy who usually comes at a fixed time for his food, and he just goes wow wow wow, wow like one siren. So couldn't find him, and hearing this noise from a distance, couldn't find him anywhere. And then we looked up and we saw him on the top of this tree.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know how he has climbed there, but cats can climb. So but
now
the
he
idiot
couldn't
couldn't
come
find his way down.
Then
So she said, okay, but obviously he's a cat. He's going to eventually find his way down. We were certain he'd manage. So let's give him some time. Maybe he's not ready to come down just yet. We came back home in the evening. This was in the morning, I think. Came back home in the evening, he was still there. And he was still meowing. So now we figured something's a bit...
he's stuck.
He's stuck. He was technically not stuck, but I think he was just scared. He couldn't find the right way to come back, a safe way to come back down without falling maybe. What to do? It's evening. It's like 7. We waited till 9. We said, okay, now will he come down? We tried to throw some packets of food up there because he hadn't eaten the whole day. And then we started freaking out because it was getting dark. It had already gotten dark. And then at about 8 in the evening, we started calling all these crane services. First we called the fire brigade. I don't think, no, did we try to call I can't remember if we called the fire brigade, but we figured that this would be not something that they would put on priority because they have other, important things to do. So we didn't want to, give them the trouble. We said, let's try calling private services. And whoever, half of the numbers we called they were closed for the day because it was 8 at night. Then finally one guy from Andheri was some forklift guy. He agreed to come at some ridiculous price because it was so late at night and from Andheri to town. We said, just leave right now and come. He reached at 10 and Harsh got onto that forklift, went up. Then to try and grab this guy because then he was scared. So he's clinging on to the tree with all his might and nails. And in that process, if you do something wrong and he falls from there, then that's, pretty much the end. So it was very, very stressful, but managed to get him down.
This is the thing. What happens when
so then we cat-proof the tree.
You did?
So
put those, those metal umbrella kind of things so that they can only
so
go
they
up to a certain
climb,
height, but they can't go beyond that. But it didn't even occur to us that we would need to do that.
So you not only cat-proof the home, you cat-proof the
outside.
yard and the outside also.
Exactly.
No, if you have an emergency, what do you do? Who do you call?
It's
that's
it keeps you on your toes. Let's put it that way.
That's the mild way to put it. But so every time it's not just the vet, but sometimes you could need services like this. And wow. Like we promised you, we would have so many stories and we will tell you and we will all learn about pet parenting through stories. And just look at how much we've learned today. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It was beautiful. I love the stories that we had.
super.
So guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Happy Podcast. And if you had as much fun listening as we did creating it, help us spread the positive vibes even further. You've got plenty more tail-wagging episodes coming your way, so stay tuned, stay kind, and maybe sneak in an extra treat for your furry friend today. Catch more awesome content on our YouTube channel, Rosepod, and on Instagram at The Happy Podcast. Until next time, keep those tails wagging and those hearts smiling.